Shalom. Kol Halo Yahweh Ba'ashum Yahusha Ba'ashum Rakach Wadash. The bonds of the apostles, the bonds of the elders, at Great Millstone who rule well and taught me this truth. Much respect to you brothers out there, preaching his word in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of earth. Tabernacle David is being risen up right before your very eyes. So for Lek and the speckled bird to you, I say Shalom. I got a couple videos that I want to get into. And hey, this is the signs of the times, man. You know, Esau Edom is getting into his technocracy, and we're seeing World War III bubble up right before our very eyes, man. So it's getting heated out here. So, you know, stay on your grind, stay 10 toes deep for the Lord, keep fasting, keep praying, keep doing the work of the Lord, you know. And Yahweh Ratazah, we of those men, you know, we'll see the fall of our enemy, right? So first video I want to get into this one right here.
Imagine being able
to
build an app with your name on it just by saying
commercial.
Meet Base 44.
The students.
Slogging, let me so as you see right here, AI powered schools with no teachers set to open in Chicago. Right?
This is something I have never heard of. So
Slogging, fair use. And let me playback speed and go a little faster. But yeah, fair use.
A school is going to be completely AI with no teachers, and it's opening up in Chicago. Who are the students? They must be geniuses.
They're recruiting students right now. The students are people whose parents can afford $55,000 a year tuition. I'll just say that for this private school. But this is a fascinating story on so many different levels. It's going to be called Alpha Schools. And Alpha Schools is a private school, I don't want to call it a chain, but it's a group of schools that exist in other states, formed out of Austin, Texas. And here's how the day works for these students. K through 8 right now, but eventually they want to make it K through 12. They do essentially all the core academic learning in 2 hours in those booths with AI. And it's very personalized. They interact with the AI. They learn their core subjects, reading, writing, arithmetic, and all the things that we learn.
All right, so you pretty much get the gist of it, right? Esau Edom's technocracy, man. Right, as our elders have been saying, man. You know, he's getting into that. He's pushing that, right? It says right here, AI schools are here. And click this one real quick. Fair use.
American school is revolutionizing education using AI. Alpha schools are at the forefront of a growing movement.
See, alpha schools, man.
Students with a more personalized education experience using AI, this advanced technology. The school replaces a traditional classroom using AI tutors and adaptive learning platforms to identify students' strengths and where the gaps lie in the curriculum. So far, the results have been outstanding. Students scoring in the top 1 to 2% nationally in math, reading, science, and language. Joining right now is the
And to show, you know, hey, these kids are doing better. They're scoring at the highest levels, man. So don't be surprised. Your teachers are going to be replaced. Everything is being replaced by AI. And that's to push the people to eventually take the C-hip, take the charagma, man. This is what we're getting into, man. So, of course, we're nearing the end of this thing. The war is heating up. This man's putting out his AI schools. They already got the C-hip. It's just implementing it on a wide scale. You had China, if I'm not mistaken, right? They're already selling it. I believe our brother posted up in the group chat, if I'm not mistaken, appear to be Edomite with the brain charagma playing a video game with him, man. Right? Let's get this right here.
Founder and the CEO of Alpha Schools, Mackenzie Price. Mackenzie, great to have you.
Maria, thanks for having me. There's nothing else.
But yeah. I'm going to get to the gist of the videos I want to get into. So that was one of them. Yeah, this one right here.
In Venezuela, where Chris and I have both had a chance to be there, I literally think they're going to put a statue to President Trump. And it's not a political.
Nero 47, as Apostle Torah said, you know. He got the pizzazz, the charisma. He acts like him. He looks like him. You know, this is Nero back in the flesh, right? One in a statue. I believe he was trying to implement to where he was being put on the money as well. Everybody's in their lots, man. Everybody's in their lots. The prophets is back, right? A lot of, these people that were in high places, they're pretty much back in their seats, some shape, form, or another.
Statement. It's an
I
actual
hope
thing.
so. That would be a great honor.
No, because it's like they view President Trump like Simon Bolivar. He's the liberator of a country. Their production on oil production is climbing towards 50% increase just in the 3 months we've been here. That goes to American refineries on the Gulf Coast, lowering the price of gas in America. So it's a
Forget that. When are they going to do the statue? The hell with you.
on Venezuela.
All right. And man wants a statue, and they talking about, pretty much taking over Venezuela, man. Oppressive man is heritage. Their desires is as hell, right? And they're still wanting more. So this man is most definitely going to be taken out of power. Has to be taken out of power, right? Brother sent this in the group chat, right? You read, if you want to watch this video for yourself.
Now the problem is they have a much bigger.
Right? Why the Kahar Island invasion would be a disaster, right? Watch this for yourself, right? And we see what's happening over here in Babylon the Great. They upped the age for recruitment in the army to 42 years old. You Jake's about to get drafted, man. All right? You Jake's about to get drafted. Right? So, hey, everything is coming down. Let's get another video. This is one of the main videos. Because matter of fact, I'm going to get into this article. As you get right here, Iran gives the U.S. a 24-hour ultimatum to condemn university bombings or face strikes on American campus. Now, these can be false flags, or these can be actual events, as in the actual Iranians doing it, another nation doing it, or Esau Edom in his wickedness doing it himself. We're going to get into this article, right? As you get right here, breaking news. All right, Yemen officially joins Iran in the war against Trump's USA and Israel. Hey, World War III is bubbling up, man. I want to get into this article right here, right? It says, Iran warns U.S. over campus attacks. Iran Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has issued a March 30th deadline for Washington to condemn strikes on Iranian university or face retaliation attacks on U.S.-linked campus in the Middle East. The threat to follow Iranian accusations that U.S. and Israeli forces deliberately, right, check this, deliberately target academic institutions. And now the way Esau Edom moves, as we go into his history, right, when we was coming out of Egypt, who did he attack first, man? Right? The young, the sick, the old, right? That's who he went after. And so this is nothing new. This is how the Edomite roll, So absolutely, I believe it, absolutely, right? Let's see, where were we at? The threat to follow Iranian, we read that, deliberately targeting academic institutions, damaging facilities, and causing no reported casualties. The ultimatum raises fear of escalating the month-long regional conflict in a direct assault on educational spaces with potential global diplomatic and security repercussions. So pretty much you're committing war crimes. That's what they've been doing. Bill and B.B. Milkowski has been committing war crimes, and then I believe he was supposed to go to jail or face, trial for the war crimes, but this man committed more war crimes, and apparently, he he's in the hospital allegedly, you know. So yeah, don't be surprised even over here in U.S. soil, we'll see some things ramp up, man. Cause I'm gonna get this video right here, right? Now, Slagi, let's go ahead and get a scripture real quick, right? Let's read this in the NLT, right? Job 20 verse 22 in the NLT. In the midst of plenty, they will run into trouble and be overcome by misery, right? We're about to see these things play out right before our very eyes, man. This man has plenty. This man has more than anybody can wish for, but yet he wants more. And so what's happening? The least of the flocks will draw them out, right? They're about to run into misery. We're seeing the other nations, when these American troops going on the offense on land, right? They said set these niggas on fire, right? So a lot of you niggas is over there in that war. You about to die, man. May power give them a belly full of trouble. You see, because you had plenty, you was full. Now you're gonna be full of trouble. May power rain down his anger upon them. When they try to escape, an iron weapon and bronze tip arrow will pierce them, right? The nuclear missiles is going to come over here in Babylon the Great, and rightfully so. The Lord has remembered your sins, and you must pay for that, right? Didn't pretty much the world came together and said that the transatlantic slave trade was an atrocity, but the U.S. and the chosen knights voted against it. Right? Didn't they do that? Didn't they vote against it? Right? But they want you to remember what they so-called went through, right? They want you to remember that. But when it comes to Jake, oh, nah. Matter of fact, while I'm speaking, right, I'm going to have this video play, right? Fair use.
The Color Kit Grand is a starter kit for taking your first steps in electronics and programming. First,
right, I'm gonna have this video playing. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit, right? They voted against it, right? So let's get this. Verse 25, the arrow will pull from their back, and arrowheads glisten with blood. Terrors of death are upon them. Their treasures will be thrown into the deepest darkness, right? You're not going to reign and rule anymore. You're being called out. You are the wicked that the Bible speaks of, right? The nations are waking up to your wickedness, and they're not playing with you anymore, right? You seeing all those missiles rise up, right? A wildfire will devour their goods, consuming all they have left. Heaven will reveal their guilt, right? You being exposed, right? All the wickedness and bloodshed that you have done, the EP files, right? You have done, you have touched the apple of the Lord's eye. Hey, look at that, You have touched the apple of the Lord's eye. You have caused so much death, hell, and destruction, right? The Lord is about to bring that pain upon you, man. Let's rewind that video, man. Right? And play this. All right? A flood will sweep away their houses. Power's anger will descend on them in torments. This is the reward that power gives the wicked. Right? And we're seeing the reward that Yahweh Bashim Shai is going to give unto the wicked. Thermonuclear destruction, man. Right? It's the inheritance decreed by power. Right? Matter of fact, we'll get this. 1 Samuel 14 verse 48. He gathered in hosts and smote the Amalekites. Who's the chief tribe of Esau, Edom? It's Amalek, right? Right. The scriptures speak of he was the first of the nations, right? The scriptures speak of we shall have war with Amalek from generation to generation, right? The two main characters of the Bible is Esau and Jacob, right? Our evil twin brother, and Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, right? So yeah, we're about to see the fall of our enemy and deliver Israel out of the hands of them that spoil them, right? We're about to be delivered, man. We're about to be delivered. You know, as you see right here, Joel 3 and verse 9, you know, it speaks about, on down, it speaks about the valley of Yehoshaphat, right? Let's see if there's anything else I want to get. Let's see. But yeah, here's one of the videos I wanted to get. Fair use, fair use.
Drivers everywhere are calling this the unlimited range device after a YouTuber proved it works during a live 1,000-mile test on a car with 200,000 miles. It's the same moment that turned his planned expose
Disrupted.
Let's bring that back.
Some new and interesting information here pertaining to the mystery drones over Barksdale Air Force Base here recently. Apparently, these waves of drones were happening more and more frequently, and they were keeping this quiet from the public. We now know for multiple days in a row that 12 to 15 drones were approaching the base, and not only approaching the base, but now Senator Bill Cassidy revealed some updated information saying that they were sitting there loitering in the air for around 4 hours at a time. Apparently, our military was not able to pursue them, so to speak, although he says here recently one hobby drone was caught, which was easy to get, but these other drones are different. It's highly suspected it's connected to China, the Chinese government, controlling some of these aircraft. Now, this becomes kind of startling because some things happen here that have never happened before in history. This has caused a U.S. military facility on our soil in wartime to have to go into a shelter in place, and it's disrupted.
They have to go to a shelter, man. It's about to get wild out here, man. You know, stay prayed up, keep making your call and election sure. It's about to get crazy out here, man.
How they conduct operations. This place houses the B-2, B-1, B-52s, the nation's nuclear intercontinental ballistic missiles. And they're saying that these drones now apparently can't be stopped by our military. And again, it kind of reminds me of the New Jersey drones because they're saying that the normal way to take them down is not working. We've also reported on the U.S. military being down on the border in different areas with a laser trying to take these things down out of the sky. It just seems to me like we're going to see more and more of this. Remember that Obama movie? It signaled at the end everything with Iran and everything with drones, big time. And this could be just the beginning. But when we have one of our most critical bases in a situation like this, it's not good. He also goes on to say that they did down one aircraft. He didn't give a lot of specifics.
But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it, man. You know, hey, it's about to get heated up out here, man. You know, just looking through the spirit on that. You know, they're looking at these aircraft that's able to carry, you know, these nuclear warheads, man. And don't be surprised, you know, whatever nation it is. Should it be Esau Edom himself and just take him out? But regardless, these other nations, you know, if it is these other nations, they scoping it out. You know, they scoping it out. Matter of fact, what's to say? USPS says mailing could end in 2026. Look at the times that we in. If gas prices keep going up, you know, because you know, a lot of times I make garments for brothers, you know. Shoe won't be, you know, hey, whoever's meant to get a garment was meant to get a garment. Let's look at this real quick.
I started a business to give old clothes months and your life. And Chase has supported me from the beginning.
Here's what car dealerships don't want you to know. I've been working at car dealerships for the last 10 years. I was just telling my brother,
citing fewer pieces of mail being delivered and an inability to keep up with rising costs, USPS says it will be unable to deliver mail if the status quo is maintained. In continuing coverage here tonight, Gregory has more on what the agency is proposing and Senator Mike Brown's confidence in the performance of its top officials.
Recently, Postmaster David Steiner told Congress that things needed a change in order for the service to still be viable. And although there are some conflicting opinions about those changes, everyone that I've talked to today says that the service is critical. Postmaster Steiner posed different options to Congress to give the Postal Service a better chance to cover its expenses. One option was to increase the prices of first-class stamps. Another is to increase the borrowing limit from the U.S. Treasury. Senator Mike Brown said he could get behind.
Yeah, times that we in, the whole world is going to feel it, man. And especially with the replacing everything with AI, you know. Don't be surprised, you know, the U.S. Postal Service get replaced with robots, you know. You know, everything is starting to feel it, man. Everybody's starting to feel it. Whatever type of line of work you in, you're starting to feel it, man, you know. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of this lesson, man. You know, it's going to get crazy out here, but stay prayed up. The Lord got you, man. So with that, shalom.